Well, hello.
Hi.
We are back, Two Chicks Chatting. Thank you for tuning in.
Right.
We thank you to those who watched our last video, which
Right.
we know there weren't many of you.
We were inspired by our last
Extremely
video.
inspired.
We enjoyed the topic, but apparently you did not as much. And that's okay.
Absolutely.
We're learning.
That's right. We're a work in progress. And today, I think it's a hot topic. Well, we do anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And we are entitling this Communication and Negotiation in a Relationship.
So, to begin, okay, here's the question. While in a relationship, are we willing at a certain point of the relationship to say to one another, here's my struggle. I'm struggling with the fact that I see you every day, and though you are beautiful, and it's spellbinding, I need to look around on occasion. And in fact, I'm really intrigued by other women or other men. And so let's have a conversation, let's be real, and let's negotiate what this means. What do we need to make this relationship work, despite the fact that this is happening? And if we don't talk about it, something else is going to happen.
Right. And, and I put it up on Facebook today, and I think just listening to people, who judge comments about other people's relationships and how they work them through, you cannot talk about it if you want to, but the reality is those feelings and those desires, whatever they may be, come up, right? So it may not be another person, but maybe it is, I don't know, smoking or something that is completely not desirable to the other person. Instead of hiding it, because the second the communication process breaks down, you're in trouble.
Right. Although
right?
God knows, if my partner comes up to me and says, I feel like smoking, I'm going to say, okay, we can talk about smoking. But if my partner comes up to me and says, I feel like going on the outside to get a little something, I don't know if that conversation can happen. Can it happen? And then we continue and we remain real?
I think it can happen. I think the point is what happens after. Because again, if you're not open to hearing it, then it'll just happen behind the scenes. And that's okay too if you are a person who would prefer that happen. I know some women say, do what you want to do, just don't let it come home. Don't bring it home.
Right.
Right?
So work it out, whatever it is, and I don't want to know.
Right. And other women feel more empowered in knowing, right? So that it's not a secret and they don't feel like everybody has this secret behind their back. And the reason I think we're focused on women is because I honestly believe that men are less open
to hearing it.
To hearing it.
But can they talk about it?
No. A few men, but I don't think that most men, I think most men will say, they really do want their cake and they want to eat it too. But when it comes to their woman, and we've talked about this before, there's an ownership.
Yes.
Right? There's
Always.
An ownership piece that rears its ugly head even when men don't mean it to.
And I think that's just a male trait.
Yeah.
Right? You pursue, you conquer, and then the prize is to own.
Right.
And so in the end, when ownership happens, and then there's a need to then pursue, conquer, and own again, you're never willing to give up your first ownership.
Right.
Or compromise it. So why talk about the fact that there's another desire? There's another place that I want to go.
Yeah.
I don't know if people can do that. That takes a lot of guts.
Yeah. And I also think that I know some people are going to say, well, this generation and people don't know how to sacrifice anymore and that sort of thing. And you know what? I agree. There are sacrifices that have to be made in a relationship. There's also the sort of self-preservation stuff, because I also think in past generations, people just suppressed everything. They were an oppressed and suppressed society.
Yes.
And I think I don't know if there's any going back to that, because I think we are saying, no, you know what, I am feeling like I'm not important. I'm not feeling my worth in the world. I'm not living out my purpose. I do desire X, Y, and Z. And so the goal is to validate that feeling and talk about maybe where it's coming from, if it's a healthy or unhealthy place.
Well, or could it be that we're more oppressed?
In what way?
In that there was much more sexual freedom, certainly, in prior centuries, right? And there was the belief that no relationship could be only between one man and one woman.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it was very much accepted, certainly on the male's part, to have multiple wives.
Yeah.
And that was part of the deal. You were marrying into a family within which, as a woman, you were probably number 3, 4, 5, and
right.
You worked together, you ran the household, and your partner was fully satisfied because he would choose which one he wanted to be with on what night.
Yeah, so I think that is, we'll
Function
save
well.
that for a part 2, because we absolutely...
But could the reverse happen?
Well, let's talk about that next Tuesday.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
I'd like to know.
So I guess what we want to know is sort of how you feel about communication and negotiation in a relationship.
Right.
Is it something that you're open to? Would you rather know, not know? If you're a woman and or a man that's saying you want open communication, like, can you really handle it? And are there limits to that?
And do you have enough respect and love for your partner to truly hear it and also to really say what's going on with you?
Right. So we want to know. We are just two chicks chatting about everyday matters. Why?
Because every day matters.
Okay, also let us know if you like our little ending. We just came up with it, and we think it's cute, corny.
It's cool, right?
So, anyway, thank you for joining us. Hit us up on Facebook, or you can email us also at chicks@twochickschatting.com. We'll also be on YouTube. Thank you.
See you soon.